Good Friday, everyone, and welcome to We Are Live.
It's really awkward for people that only listen and don't watch the video.
What is going on?
Hey, everybody, it's We Are Live. Good morning, Travis.
Hello, Chris.
It's We Are Live. Chris Dem and Travis Farrell. I'm hitting the Casual Friday real hard.
Oh, I see, my friend. Oh, my.
Backwards hat.
You're hip to it.
Shirt from Schlafly.
Hip to B square.
We actually have a very busy show today. Our friend John Henry, musician. He's been on many times, promoter, festival organizer, but he is performing at the Farmington Fall Festival this weekend, so we'll chat about that. Sam Lyons comes in at 9 o'clock, and then later on today we'll talk to D-Ray Davis, who's hilarious. He's been on the show before, and he's already sold out half his shows at Helium this weekend, so get tickets now if you're looking to have a great time in St. Louis this weekend.
Host of Hip Hop Squares, Chris. Do you watch the Hip Hop Squares on the VH1?
I recorded on VHS daily.
Very good.
Mm-hmm.
And my favorite D-Ray Davis fun fact, 50 years old. 50 years old. If you see D-Ray Davis, he looks not a day over 17.
Genuinely could pass as a guy in his late 20s.
No doubt about it. He looks like a grad student at WashU.
Mm-hmm.
It's not fair.
It's not fair. Huge thanks to everybody who came out to Happiest Hour last night, and then we did a pop-up at Gaslight Gastro Pit. Gastro Pit's got great food, by the way. You get the wings and the happy hour special. But everybody was super funny. Big thanks to Jack Daniels for supporting that, and we had a great crowd last night.
Of course, I don't know if you knew this, but Jack lives here.
That's right. Sophie's every Thursday. Woo, next week's going to be big. Libby Higgins headlining that one. It's a big one. Molly Ambergy and Kate Barton. Schlafly specials. All that good stuff. We need to say hello to our stream queen extraordinaire. He's also the Scooter King.
Ow!
And his name is Sister Silverhair, Chris Gardner. Good morning.
Good morning, gentlemen. And good morning, Walnut.
Woo! Put it up, Chris. Put it up, Chris. Chris, put it up. It's Friday.
Where do you find the energy to?
Well, when an exorbitant amount of pain isn't rushing through my ankles, I could be a decent human being. All right, now eat it. Eat it.
Not eating it. What is Hip Hop Squares? Is that like
Yeah,
Hollywood
let's talk about
Squares,
this.
but
With
hip-hop?
hip-hoppity?
With hip-hoppity. That's exactly it. You just add a little hip-hoppity sauce.
They film it in Atlanta.
Yeah.
That is rude.
I'm sorry. Is there not a hip-hop mecca in Atlanta?
It's not rude. It's just stereotyping.
That
and
is
that's
very
okay
stereotyping.
from time to time.
Check and see where they film it, too.
I believe they film it in Los Angeles.
Okay.
You believe?
I believe.
Lot
But
of-
now Chris raises a very good
lot-
point. Maybe
lot
it was
of-
somehow filmed in Atlanta.
Uh-huh.
It could be one of those two
So,
locations.
so who's the center square in this Hip Hop Squares?
Well, the executive produced by one Ice Cube.
I was gonna say Russell Simmons.
So Ice Cube generally is the center square. Russell Simmons, as you know, was caught up in his own little Me Too controversy, and I don't think he's returned to the States since.
Okay.
So we probably won't see
I can't
Russell.
keep track of that.
He's
so
kind of
I'm
like
sorry.
the black Roman Polanski, allegedly,
Oh,
right now. So he's kind of in the wind, as the people say.
so he's not involved.
He is not. It's Ice Cube, and D-Ray Davis is a host, and oftentimes you'll see the likes of T.I. and other notable hip-hop personalities. And so,
Who's like the Bruce Valanche
Of hip-hop?
of the
of hip-hop squares?
Yeah.
One of the fat boys?
That's a good question. I don't know.
Who's
That's
the
a good question.
Whoopi Goldberg?
Who's the Whoopi Goldberg of hip-hop squares? I have to look into that. Maybe that's a question we'll ask D-Ray when he gets in here. D-Ray.
Who's the Jim J. Bullock?
Now that's a too deep of a dive for me.
Okay.
I'm what the kids call young.
Oh,
Yeah, so I don't know.
are you?
A little bit.
How do you look older than D-Ray Davis?
Shoot. Look.
The grind?
The grind, man. You know how it
Be
is.
grinding.
Shoot. And then also the glow up, man. You get out to L.A., you get a little cash in your pocket, get a little fame. You're able to get a stylist. You get elite
like a pen?
barbers. No, not that. Specifically the people that help you dress. You get a nutritionist. You get a what do they call them? Private instructor that help you on your physique, help you exercise.
Man, you'd be annoying with if you had all that.
Look, that's why I'm
You'd
trying
be
to get
real
there.
preachy.
Oh, yeah, you already know. You already know. You already know. I absolutely would be. But I also will have my humble moments.
Will you?
I don't know. Probably not in public.
Yeah, in private.
But definitely in private. But no, in public, I'm walking around. Oh, shoot. I'm wearing jump shorts and my wang may be hanging out. I don't know. Give me a little fame, a little money. Travis may not know how to act.
I think that's a
Do you know how to
guarantee.
act now?
I would say probably not really.
Mhm.
But I'm getting there. I think I've gotten better, especially since I've returned from New York City.
Yeah.
I think I've humbled myself since I've returned to St. Louis. Don't you guys agree? I've been very more mellow. I hardly ever bring up New York anymore.
I need to find this tweet. Guy I know who lives in Brooklyn was tweeting about people who think it's cool to move to Brooklyn, and I wanted to show it to you.
I think it is cool to move to Brooklyn. People are never satisfied. They say, get out there, experience your dreams, live life. And then you go and do it, and people tell you, you shouldn't do it. You should stop that. Stop being happy about doing something that's different.
Camera 3, please.
okay.
They're so sick of y'all. That's all y'all do is bitch. You tell us to
Who's
go
y'all?
and try and
Who's
do your
us?
best and be the best you, and you go out and do it. Stop doing that. Don't move to my city. It's too crowded. Then you
Why
yell
do
at
they talk like that?
I don't people I see it all the time. Stop moving to LA. Fuck you.
How many times did you move to LA?
Oh, I'm just saying I've seen people go like when people want to enter into the industry or just leave the Midwest or leave where they're currently at and they want to try something different with their life. And people who live in those cities, don't move out here anymore. But you're the same people telling them, man, you should make sure, stay inspired. Go after what you want. All right? Keep your head down. Do what you think is best for your life. Don't move out here. Shut up. Do what the hell I want. Go Cards. I had no way to button that up,
Yeah.
but I figured that's a good segue.
You already misinterpreted what I had said to begin with anyway,
sorry, I
so
apologize.
that's okay. Go
I think I was cool to move to Brooklyn.
It's a cool
Now-
opportunity.
Now you've kind of proved.
Yeah, there he is.
It's not that you did. It's just the attitude involved, I guess.
What kind of attitude are you supposed to have, though?
You're not.
So I'm supposed to be happy about it?
You can be happy, but
I'm not supposed to be braggadocious about it?
no.
Why not?
Because you look like a fool.
But isn't the fool the person who's too afraid to actually leave their comfort zone?
No.
Isn't that the fool?
But that has nothing to do with being braggadocious.
It is. You can
No.
be braggadocious. That's a challenge. That's a challenge.
No,
Moving to literally the most expensive city in the world.
I don't think
it's number 3. It's behind.
But you're already inaccurate.
Well, it's one of
lost
the
all
most.
credibility
Okay,
now with
good,
your
okay,
argument.
I have no sources to confirm.
that's a good point. I don't have any sources to confirm any of this.
The
Well, actually,
sources.
you obviously have sources because you then stated it was number 3. You
It
just
is.
lied to us.
I just.
That is true. It was a blatant
I
lie.
feel like Rudy Giuliani this morning. I feel like Rudy.
Of course I did.
Of course I did.
Wait, what?
Wait, you just said.
What? Oh.
You think think Howard Dean thinks about killing himself about?
I
twice
think
a day?
Howard Dean every day wakes up just absolutely banging his head against the brick wall.
Do you think
Truth isn't truth.
You're right, Chris. I feel so terrible. Like, we need to check in on Howard Dean.
Do you think he just only follows Trump on Twitter? It's like a pain thing at this point.
He just
like-
refreshes.
he just sits it and every time he sees it.
All I did was list the states in the United States.
That's all he
And
did.
scream.
That's all he did. That's all he did.
Yeah!
He was a reputable candidate. He was good. He had strong ideas. He was basically one of the architects of what we now know as Obamacare. Like, the guy had strong policy ideas. He had great energy. He resonated with middle-class voters. And he yelled after, what was it, because he got a second or third place finish, I think, in Iowa. And he went to New Hampshire, and that's when he went. And that was it. And the media blew that up. And now that guy isn't hardly ever heard of. He isn't even a power broker in the Democratic Party. And now you have Rudy Giuliani. I don't know if you saw this, Chris. And we will have, I don't want to go do a deep dive because I just don't. But Rudy Giuliani on CNN last night, he was being asked about whether or not he encouraged the President of the United States to have the Ukraine government investigate Joe Biden and his son about their business dealings, and he was adamant with Chris Cuomo of CNN that, hey, I didn't ask for them to be investigated. And as the conversation went along, 3 minutes later, he acknowledged that he had indeed asked the Ukraine government to investigate Joe Biden and his son.
Of course I did.
Of course I did.
And we're going to South Dakota and Oregon and Washington and Michigan. And then we're going to Washington, D.C. to take back the White House. Yeah!
That was
That's
it. That cost. That guy would have probably been imagine where the country would be today. And this is also, and especially since we're where we are now as a country, this is where, again, I hope the media puts the spotlight back on itself. Look in the mirror, because they were culpable. They were one of the bigger reasons why Howard Dean, they played that video over and over and over, and they overanalyzed that until they were blue in the face, until that guy, he could not get any more traction after that. God, that I feel so oh man, that's Gardner.
Howard Dean melts down.
No, he didn't. No, he didn't. He was just very excited, trying to motivate a crowd at a rally. Howard Dean, we not only owe you an apology, let's get him on the show. Truth isn't truth.
Mm-hmm.
What a day. But you know what it is, the truth, Chris?
Oh, no.
The St. Louis Cardinals, that's who. The heat is on. The heat is on the streets.
It's like Travis is making love to the desk.
The heat is on.
And it is not consensual.
On the streets, and that's all I know about the lyrics.
We should do a version of that with Modest Mouth if they make the postseason.
I'm game for that. We've seen St. Louisans come up with their own music videos to get the fan base excited for the playoffs. So maybe that's something Modest Mouth will do. The St. Louis Cardinals last night winning a thriller in the Shy against their heated rivals, the Chicago Cubs.
Slang like that.
We're bringing it up, and we're not a sports show, but we bring it up only because it's been a long time that we've been excited or been engaged deeply into the Cardinals' postseason opportunities. And last night we got a chance to, well, I don't know about you, Chris, but it's been a while since I have sat down and watched a St. Louis Cardinals baseball game, like front to end, every pitch, every inning, yelling, drinking, the whole nine. So I was almost had to. The re-entry was definitely difficult. It took me a while because I haven't followed the team as consistently as I have in the past. So there were several questions I had throughout the entire broadcast.
Sorry, I couldn't get past when you said front to end.
Front to end?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, sorry.
That's all right.
But it was fun. The Cardinals end up winning in an extra inning.
What kind of questions did you have?
Who that guy?
Okay. Yeah.
It's like, I don't know who this Edmund kid is. Is it Edmund?
Uh-huh.
And I was like, I don't know who you is, but you boss.
Did you think he was Jim Edmonds' son?
I did. I was like, damn, Jimmy, I remember you having some babies, but they grew up pretty damn fast, and they are just as good as you.
Well,
and then I learned that that's not how you spell Jim Edmonds and
And
Edmund.
he's not as good.
And then no, he isn't. But that he has had a remarkable season since being called up, and I enjoyed the hell out of that game last night, even after the Cardinals blew the lead in the ninth to take it to extra innings.
How'd you react then?
I was annoyed, but that I wasn't pissed because the Cardinals brought in Carlos Martinez in the ninth after Jack Flaherty had pitched to Jim for 8 innings. He absolutely stymied the Cubs lineup, and you understood why he was pulled. And you bring in a guy like Carlos who's been in these type of situations before. He was made closer, about a month and a half ago, 2 months ago, roughly. Officially the closer, a little bit longer than that. Okay, if you say so. But but it's Carlos Martinez. Is a guy who's pitched in high leverage situations before, so I figured that Mike Schilt, the Cardinals manager, made the right move at bringing him in, and unfortunately it went south. It went south very quickly, but the Cardinals were able to get to the extras where Matt Carpenter, who's absolutely sucked all season, was able to come in and hit I think it was the first pitch of Craig Kimbrell, who was coming off some time off the DL, if I'm not mistaken.
IL.
IL. Now what do they call it
That's
now,
how
Chris?
much you've been
Yeah.
watching.
Um,
It's like you can tell when people stopped going to church regularly at the Catholic Church.
That's it.
It's when they changed everything up.
I did.
And they did
You
that
go
purposely.
in and you go for the.
yeah.
I still believe they did that on purpose so that the people that go regularly can now judge the people that don't. Because now they have a
Judgment's
tell.
big in the Catholic.
Oh,
Church.
of course.
That's pretty big
That's
in
the-
organized
It's
religion.
the only reason they did it. The only reason. There's no other reason to.
I agree.
That's kind of how why organized religion certainly exists. But I think just enjoying the game from these things actually count. There's high stakes. The Cardinals have played well enough to put themselves in a position to finally win a division. I don't know when the last time the Cardinals won the division. And obviously we know they haven't made the playoffs the last 2015. Okay, so it has been 3 full seasons. So I had a ton of fun. I don't know how much of the game you guys were able to catch. And
I
how
was
much-
running 2 comedy shows.
Okay, well, what's more important, Cardinal baseball or your business? Who is this guy? He's from St. Louis? He's from the St. Louis metro area? I don't think so.
I was with Sean yesterday, actually coming down to the office to pick up some artwork.
Boy, when you're in the middle of working and you hear in the background and it's Sean, it's a sight to see.
Yeah. Oh, that's
John
weird.
Mulaney has a great stand-up on the religion subject, Black Sheep.
I'll check that out.
Thanks for the info.
But was riding with Sean back, and we were talking about Cubs Cardinals, and he's a Cubs fan.
Yes, he is.
And he said,
he
you
had
know, either way I win. You see? I'm like, well, how's that? He's like, Cubs win, I get my bragging rights. Cardinals win. Chris, you'll love this.
Yep, I know what's going to happen here.
I get some more action down at the Missouri Bar and Grill. It's good for the bar.
It is good drinking season. It is going to be good drinking season.
I thought of you guys when he
Good
told
for
me.
you.
I'm excited before that simple fact of, and as stressful as it was watching that game last night, it feels good to watch meaningful Cardinal baseball again. It really does feel good. And I think we talked about it with Derek Gould about how the Cardinals fan base has been spoiled, and we have been. And I think there was a period, and you kind of mentioned it yesterday, where, maybe the Cardinals not making the playoffs would be good for the organization, be good for the city, so people can get a better appreciation for the organization again, a better appreciation for who they are.
Well, that's happened.
And now that has happened, and I do have a better appreciation for it because I don't recall being this involved in game 152, like I was last night. And it was a cool atmosphere. It was an intense atmosphere. Our good friend Nathan was in attendance last night at Wrigley.
I have to remember what's in a group chat and what's like appropriate to talk about. Whenever you're like, oh yeah, no, your friends told you. I just thought of something super funny my friend did after the game, and I was like, oh, not for public consumption. Got it.
But
There-
it was I don't know, it was fun watching it. And then of course it was on Fox, not Fox Sports Midwest.
Fox News.
Fox, not Fox News, unfortunately.
Fox Business Channel?
That was not the Fox
Lou
Business
Dobbs
Channel.
did
It
the
was not Lou
play-by-play.
Dobbs.
Oh, hold
Welcome
on.
to Chicago.
Carlos Mejia.
Oh, yeah. There's
yeah.
trouble with those Latin
Oh,
players.
God, we know. It was fun because Fox is now doing this thing.
He called ICE in the middle of the broadcast to try and have him.
Just being a helpful citizen.
How great would that have been? They just came in from left field.
What if he did a citizen's ICE arrest?
Yeah,
That's it.
while
That-
broadcasting.
Yeah.
It
It's
was
like on the field, running away. He's
lo-
on the field as the on-field reporter, but wearing like a bulletproof vest and everything, like he's covering the border crisis.
But this is how I know St. Louisans or just sports fans in general, contrarians, because it was on the Fox national broadcast, and there were people actually complaining for, one, the Cardinals broadcast, which never happens because when it's Danny Mack and Jim Edmonds, people still find a way to bitch. And they even went as far as to say, hey, where's Joe Buck? And that's what I knew. Go to hell. Because you guys, every time Joe Buck is on a Cardinal game, you hate him. And you're asking, where is Joe Buck? Go. Poor Joe, unfortunately, had to cover the football game in Jacksonville
boy.
as the
What's
Tennessee
he pull-
Titans
what's
taking
he
on
pull
the
in per
Jacksonville Jaguars.
broadcast?
But no, it was just
$1
so
million?
it was so funny though. It was just to see Twitter just go, where's Danny Mack and Jim Edmonds and Joe Buck, people they consistently bash online. It's like, you guys just bitch just to bitch, don't you? So that
yeah,
was
you'll probably
fun.
have, the backhanded comments such as like, well, who is this crew? I'd take Danny Mac at this point.
Yeah,
So it's something like that.
yeah, very backhanded. And of course, with it being Fox, they jumped into bed with your good friend Vince McMahon and the WWE, and so now Fox, the national broadcast, will be showcasing SmackDown, the wrestling brand from the WWE on prime time.
It'll be the greatest wrestling of all time.
And they're going to now
Kyle
they're
Dunnigan doing Trump.
they're doing the kayfabe thing. So they're everyone at the networks bought in like ESPN has with WWE, and they had the wrestler Braun Strowman, a former world's strongest man, now a professional wrestler in the WWE, in the broadcast booth, and people were bitching about that. So I found that incredibly fascinating. So it just felt the reentry again back into sports Twitter, into St. Louis Cardinal Twitter. It was fascinating last night. I had a lot of fun.
Yeah, you haven't missed much.
Nope. Some things still the same.
Yeah, there's some consistency there.
Surprisingly, not one hashtag that said fire Matheny. That was odd.
No, he's gone.
No, he's officially gone?
Yeah.
Okay.
What about Higher Magic?
Not yet.
Our own Randy Carricker was in here Tuesday.
I thought about that last night. How he simply described your idea.
What did he say?
He said it was interesting.
That's a professional. That's a professional. That is absolutely a professional.
I mean, I
He said he didn't say yay or nay. He just said it was interesting.
that was kind of him to do that.
Mm-hmm. It was very nice.
We'll have a conversation with our friend John Henry at 8:40 today. What do we want to say? 8:40. Real quick, I want to tell you guys about Gateway Powder Coating. They're a partner of ours. You need to use them because they support us. That's right, everybody. GatewayPowderCoat.com is the #1 resource for powder coating in the Midwest. They've been known to give a We Are Live discount, so let them know if you take something in to be powder coated. They can help you. Travis, your wheels chipped.
Yes.
Are you looking for a flashy color?
Yes.
I'm not stereotyping. Gardner gave me a look. Gateway Powder Coating can help with anything that can be painted. You can powder coat it. Be sure to drop them a line. Check out their capabilities online. GatewayPowderCoat.com for more information. We've got poor Howard Dean.
That's how we're ending everything now.
Poor Howard Dean. Go ahead, Trev.
No, I was just going to say, as we get set for fall, your favorite holiday is on the horizon.
Nice.
It's called the Halloween. And generally what we've done on this program.
Like the Walmarts?
Like the Walmarts and
You get the Halloween costume
I
at
think
the
I know
Walmart.
which story you're going with, but there's two possibilities.
There's
actually.
several possibilities.
I like that we do a podcast, but he still he infuses things you would learn at journalism school at times, and kind of treats it like he can't get away from it unless he's talking about something that just needs to be ranted on. It's fun. I'm an audience member myself.
It's fun.
Yeah.
But we generally.
He's like, that's incredibly accurate.
That is no comment.
You're not supposed to tell him all this.
Yeah. Right.
Fact of the matter is that we generally like to put out a PSA.
Tell us more, Travis.
And we do it for Halloween's sake. That, of course, is what I've learned over the years has become the whites' favorite holiday. And because of that, I often like to provide a PSA to all listeners and those that are out there.
Do you need your own camera for this?
Sure, why not? Let's go here. And what I like to say to you and those who are at home, dress up as you want. Have fun.
Oh, I thought he was going with the other one.
Halloween's a good time. But if it's one thing that I just simply ask,
We don't usually start this till October 1st.
we usually don't, but a particular individual has
He ain't
forced my hand.
He ain't my prime minister.
He ain't mine either. But we ask that you don't do blackface.
I don't know. It seems like a more accurate costume.
It's not. Halloween isn't about necessarily accuracy. It's about not turning people's races into a costume. And unfortunately, what we've learned here in the States is that's a problem. But apparently it also climbs across the border. As Chris's hero and skinny look-alike, Justin Trudeau, Prime Minister of Canada, was caught.
Why you gotta say skinny look-alike? You could just say look-alike as I fit into the sausage casing of a T-shirt.
Justin Trudeau apparently recently, it was discovered that he put on a little little blackface and leaves open the possibility of more blackface photos out there.
Nice.
You know you love you some blackface when you say, I don't know if there's some more out there, y'all.
I like how people interpreted this as he might do it some more. This headline.
Like it's a new. Yeah.
Leaves open
Leaves open
possibility of more blackface.
Hey, I may take some more photos this Halloween. You never know.
He does a killer Obama impression, and he needs to darken his skin
He's
up.
probably thinking like Kawhi Leonard brought home the NBA Finals to Canada. Maybe I dress up as him for Halloween. I'm just leaving over that possibility.
He did go. I mean, he went all out.
He went all out, and I think he even
Where's
got the
picture?
arms.
I mean-
Okay, thank you.
Oh, sweet Jesus!
Look, he's with Sikh friends.
Oh no! I didn't.
I do
this is my
love that-
first time seeing this one.
He
I
did-
do love
Jesus,
that.
he was intense.
He did hands.
He got
too.
the hands too, which I kind of give him 2 points for. At
Why
least,
is-
the effort?
Why is he ultra super dark and the Sikh dudes are
Exactly.
like, what?
Exactly.
What is this? But he's not even. He's like doing. He's like doing.
God, that's
Prince
bad.
Of, he's doing like Prince of Arabia, and they're like, we're not even Muslim, dude. Right?
Would you
This
just
is
leave us
bad,
alone?
man. How did he even get? First
Like
of all,
1,000,000%, those guys are Sikh, right?
I don't know how he even got
don't
the
know.
hands. I'm not certain.
But that's not even the right. It's not even the right thing. Maybe it
It's-
is. I don't know.
It's just I'm with you, Gardner. How did the hell did he get
Oh,
the hands?
just more evidence of the left destroying culture.
There we go. Cancel culture at it again. So Justin Trudeau gave up apology of some sort.
Sorry.
Like I can't stop looking at it.
I'm with you. I'm like hypnotized at how it is so intense.
I'm like distracted.
Well, again,
Like you're
too-
not doing that by yourself. Like somebody helped you on that. Like someone had to have helped you. And the hands is really, you know how difficult it is to paint your hands?
like his original apology featured some sort of comment along the lines of like,
I wasn't aware that blackface was
no, just the part where he's like, I'm really into costumes and
So
stuff
wait,
like that.
so did he?
So I guess he's done theater in the past, but
So when he goes pee, like, did he paint his thing?
I mean, he got
He
the
might
hands.
have.
He may have.
I mean,
Well, he got the
he's
neck.
gonna have the smudges on it, right?
I mean, if you're going this deep,
Yeah, you are.
why not?
So Justin Trudeau, and I'm glad these photos came to light because it makes my job easier.
How'd they stay hidden for so long?
Here's my question, because we saw with the Virginia governor.
I'll take it down because I can't stop
Virginia.
looking at
It
it.
is the Virginia governor, but we saw, like we've seen blackface stories. I mean, obviously over the years, Justin Trudeau, I believe, has been Prime Minister of Canada for 6+ years, maybe a little bit longer than
I don't
that.
know how it
I'm
works
not
up
sure. I
there.
don't know how it works either. But the fact of the matter is, at some point when he saw the controversies break out here in America, he had to have known, shit.
Yeah.
What do I like? So in that instance, I'm curious. I'm not even trying to be funny. If you know that now, if you're a public figure, and though you've seen other public figures get exposed, do you then come forward, or do you just hope to God no one releases anything of you?
You probably don't come forward, but you probably already start working on your apology.
Yeah, that's also true. That's also very true. I don't
What
know.
was that? Is it a party or was that a theater production? If it was a theater production, that's one thing. I think it's different if it's just a party.
I don't
See
know.
Thomas Howell, still cool in my book.
I don't
brother.
know what, because there's. C. Thomas Howell.
Did you say I said brother?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah. I
It's,
do like C. Thomas Howell.
He's
but-
not a
doesn't
bad
like-
person. I mean, it's an unfortunate thing that happened during a not so long ago.
But I think
Oh, that was in the 30s. That was
I,
we were born.
I think I don't know. I don't know how to put a bow on this kind of story because
Well, I think you just need to get over it, pussy.
one way. I
Remember, I'm getting back. I got the backwards hat on
the
today.
backwards hat on,
Yeah,
I get
sorry.
it.
He's
But
doing
no,
that.
it's
He's
Yeah.
MAGA today.
It's well, no, I'm just aggressive and a jerk.
Blame,
well, okay.
hashtag blame Denman for Trump again.
Oh no,
I think I did tweet out yesterday. I go, is
God, it's
is
funny to
black
call people pussies.
Is it? I see why people do it though, right? Isn't it?
Pussy.
Yeah, like especially when you say it like that, like because like there's no appropriate retort after being called pussy besides punching someone in the face.
God.
Like there's no like, sir, I am not a pussy, and I say take it back. Once someone calls you a pussy, you got to punch him in the face. Say it again. Say it in front of the camera.
Pussy.
See, now you don't respond by going, sir, I think that language is inappropriate, and I ask you to apologize.
What'd you call me? You heard me, pussy.
Yeah,
That's the only thing you can do.
that's the only thing you can do.
Right?
But
Is
in this,
pussy better than bitch?
I think they're on the same level.
Bitch.
Yeah, bitch is still kind of harsh. They're both very harsh.
I think pussy,
Fact of the matter is,
pussy means
whether
your IQ is like 3 points lower.
whether you're a pussy or a bitch or the Canadian Prime Minister, let's
Ooh.
acknowledge that blackface is not the play. So please, this Halloween, don't be Justin Trudeau. Well, you can be
Well.
Justin Trudeau, but don't be that Justin Trudeau.
How about Jamie Boyer's fancy foyer? Justin Trudeau.
Justin Trudeau!
I just can't stop staring at it.
I
Really.
will say,
Yeah.
like,
Does he have a ring on his right finger?
yes.
Did he do the accent the entire night?
You know he did. You don't put that
Did he
much
do-
makeup on.
did he
You don't
do-
go to those lengths without doing the accent. Of course he did the accent.
Did he do Michael Scott's
Oh, yeah.
Indian voice?
Yeah.
He did with Kelly.
Yes, definitely. But I don't, and I said this on Twitter, is black shoe polish just cheaper in the white community? What is the desire to just put shoe polish on your skin? Like, it belongs on a shoe. Why do you want to put it on your face?
we have a response.
Okay.
Black sheeps is the proper response to being called a pussy is
Oh, boy.
you're what you eat.
That is.
While holding fingers up to face, offering a round of high fives to everyone.
Yeah, that's it.
I just
That
need a
is
pair
it.
of Oakleys and a Jeep with T-tops on, and
Yeah.
I'm rocking it, man.
I'm a visual learner, and he did that well.
That was
the black
good.
sheep did well there.
I think
Oh.
I'm curious, like, it's going to, at some point during the debates, it's going to happen. Like, Trump's going to turn to Warren or Biden and go, pussy. And then they're going to have to
you
make that same
can't say
decision.
it to a woman, right?
Yeah, I would love
Like
for, and if
And then
Elizabeth,
Elizabeth's gonna go, "You are what you grab,"
oh!
and then bam.
And that's game over. Game, set, match. So,
he goes to
She has a
high
plan for
five
that,
Lester
apparently.
Holt. He's like, no.
Lester's like, I cannot high five that.
Would
thing.
you be shocked if it was a Warren Trump debate and at some point he pulled out like a Indian headdress
There
and
would
tried
no,
to put it on
it would not.
to mock her?
There's no doubt. In fact, I would think he would pull out an actual peace pipe.
Because I think this.
I
could
see
have-
Trump
people
I think
like
it-
there's
I think
so
Trump-
much,
yeah,
and
I
they don't
think
deserve that, but I need to see that.
No, you don't. You don't need to see
you
that.
don't
Chris.
need to see
It's at
it.
the end
We-
of him.
It is not here for your entertainment.
Well,
I'm
we might
sweating from the pussy.
we might need it to happen though.
If you say so. If you say
Well, but that would be it, right?
I don't think there is an it.
Okay.
I don't think there's an it. I don't think there is a moment that would. I think November 2020, it's going to be a coin flip. I truly do believe it's going to come down.
I think it's less of a coin flip.
Even if a Democratic candidate wins, I am still of the thought process. He ain't leaving. And Chris has said I was crazy. I don't know. I don't think he's leaving. I think we're going to literally, they're going to have to sit in the military. It's going to be.
I'm not going.
He's not.
Or he'll leave and say that the new White House is Mar-a-Lago, so he can actually
Yeah.
be where he wants to be.
All right.
He has, he has a contingency plan. You know he does. I think that's the thing that kind of freaks me out more than anything else. I get that there's a whistleblower and he said things to foreign leaders that he wasn't supposed to say, and I absolutely believe the guy did some absolutely nefarious things according to the
nefarious?
media. But I do believe.
What country are they from?
But I do think he has a contingency plan.
Get him out.
He's figured it out. He's got to either he's going to release some smoke bombs in the White House.
Who said bomb?
he's gonna like flood all the toilets and the residents.
Oh yeah.
But he's not just gonna be amicable and be like, all right, Elizabeth, all right, Joe, you beat me. Especially if it's a woman. Especially if it's Kamala Harris, if it's Elizabeth Warren, he's not gonna be
If
like,
he were to do that, I'd be like, "What are you up to?" I'd be suspicious.
man, you want to talk about if you didn't think the intelligence agencies would listen to the president before, let him lose his election. Hey man, I think the president just sold Florida. I don't know for who I should tell. Damn it. But I think he just gave Putin Virginia and Florida. He has some outstanding debts. But you know who doesn't have an outstanding debt?
Me, I'm perfect.
And you know who is not a pussy?
I love pussy. Sorry, go ahead.
John Henry.
Oh,
John
boy.
Henry is a
Man,
delightful
what is wrong with
musician.
you today? This is
You
good.
know, John Henry will
I'm getting the hell out of here.
he will be performing, Chris. I don't know if you knew this, in Farmington this weekend. He's gonna
Where
be
at?
at the
Barbecue Village.
and
Oh,
the
man, Barbecue Village. Did that make your
Blues.
mouth water? We're talking to Dave yesterday.
It was very, very good. Oh boy. Blues, brews, and barbecue. B3 Farmington Fall Fest this weekend. Free to the public. $5 if you want to get your drink on.
Look at this. You did research because they talked about Barbecue Village.
Hey, but look, I told you they got me excited. And
Who's emceeing the main stage?
MCing the main stage is none other than St. Louis Blues host Carly Lawrence. Check her out with
Carly texted me yesterday. What do I wear? I was like, do you have cowboy boots and jean shorts? That seems
Do
appropriate.
I have cowboy boots? Can I wear my cowboy boots?
Sure, Cowboy Troy.
Yes.
Yeah.
So yeah, they'll be taking place this weekend. Of course, our good friend John Henry will be a part of the festivities, performing. John Henry, as you know, Chris. Amazing.
What do I know about John Henry? Yeah, tell me what I know.
You're going to be asking you to do that if you're wearing cowboy boots.
Chris, I've known
Hey,
John.
look, it's Charlie Pride.
Hey, everybody. I've known John Henry for about.
They're going to think you're a Charlie Pride impersonator.
Yeah, they will, but maybe they'll give me money.
Okay.
John Henry, I've known for about 25 years now.
No,
We
you
grew up
haven't.
in the city. John and I would play Kings Highway and Natural Bridge, and we would jam on the
We're
corner.
going to show up, and Dave Bergholt from yesterday, organizer, great guest, super fun guy, and Travis are going to have a bunch of brisket all over their belly. There's going to be pork coming out of your mouth. You're just going to be laying there on a hay bale. Or hay barrel? Is that what you say? Hay barrel?
Tells you from the city.
But no, if you'd like
It's
to
a
finish
bale of hay, Chris.
John Henry,
City boy.
Funky Butt, Marquise Knox, Noah Earl, our friends the Bel Airs from Columbia. It's
I
going to
don't
be a
know if
heck
you
of
know
a time.
my boy Marquise Knox has also been touring with ZZ Top.
Yes, thank
So-
you. Your boy now. Okay,
So-
great. Black Sheep suggests that you're going to look like Larry Fishburne in Pee-wee's
Pee-wee's Playhouse,
Playhouse.
yes.
Yeah.
If I can find that get up, is that it definitely? I could actually
That's
probably
pretty
head on
awesome.
down.
That'd be a great Halloween costume.
That would be
man.
pretty good, but I really don't want anybody.
You want me to be Fat Pee-wee to your Larry Fishburne?
if you want.
Lawrence. Guys, we'll throw it to John Henry. Conversation we had yesterday, one-on-one. Love talking to John every time. And John did want to specify, because Gardner and I, well, mainly me, there's a part where we said known Lil Wayne hater. And John didn't. He was like, why did you keep saying that? He's like, I went and booked a hip-hop show an hour after we talked. He's like, it was really, and I was like, I don't know why we say the things we say sometimes.
We
It
don't
just-
understand.
It is what it is. Wonderful conversation with one of the headlining artists at Farmington Fall Festival this year, our friend John Henry. Hit it, Gardner. What's up, everybody? It's one-on-one time. John Henry, our friend, is back on the show this weekend, tonight and tomorrow. We're recording this early, but Friday and Saturday, Farmington Fall Fest, Brews, Blues, and Barbecue. One of the featured performers. We got him. Said it couldn't be done. Said we wouldn't get him back, but I did it. I personally did it.
Yeah,
John Henry is joining us. He's taking his band down to Farmington, Missouri to perform this weekend and have some craft beer with me too, I hope. Mr. Henry, good to see you.
good to see you as well.
We were discussing this a second ago. If Gardner doesn't cut it, what could I do that would make you like shove the camera and say this interview's over? Like you're not a diva, but I kind of want to see some diva behavior out of
I
you.
don't know. Let me
Insult the
think.
blues,
Yeah, well,
the music,
I mean,
or
I
the
think
hockey team.
You could insult both. I think it wouldn't offend me that much. I mean, I love both of those things.
Sure.
so-
Maybe you'd have to get family or something, or
Yeah,
bring
that
up
would-
something really weird
Yeah, that would be and that would be weird that you would
that I would do.
have enough knowledge of my intimate
Oh,
knowledge of
you
my
don't-
family
you
to
don't know what I
to make
know.
me want to leave the interview. so
Look at it. He's basically posturing Gardner that I ain't got shit, is what he's saying.
I mean, no, I mean we're good, and you know you're my bodyguard back in the day, so I don't.
That's true.
We
And
gotta
that
it's kind of
whole
teacher-student relationship deal. I don't want to ruin the
Let's
dynamic.
never forget it. Do you think you'll need any protection this weekend at Farmington?
You-
The Blues, Brews, and
you-
Barbecue Family Festival?
I would say no, but
Yeah.
you never.
You never
You
know.
never can
I know the
tell.
lay of the land down there.
I mean, I've been to some. I was.
You've been a touring musician
We-
for
we did-
15 plus years. You've seen some things.
Yeah, we did. A good buddy, Josh Rogers. Yeah,
Great
you know,
guy.
so
Wonderful
we
guy.
used to play the hog toss back in the day, and
We need to give some background on this, by the
Yeah,
way. It's
okay.
amazing charity show.
Yeah,
and,
yeah.
And I'll throw it back to you.
yeah,
but
it was for the ALS
oh my gosh.
Foundation.
It turned
and
into this massive
It was
thing.
a really, really nice event,
Yeah.
and this is like I think we were in our like late 20s or something, and we got hotel rooms, so we got to stay down there, and we went to some like swimming pool party afterwards, and it was just like me and a few of the guys, and we didn't even swim, but it was it was a funny thing, and then we yeah, it was rowdy in Farmington. It was like
Why was
like
it a
bunch
funny
of
thing?
it was like a bunch of like rowdy rich people.
I think I know exactly what you're talking about, really.
So
where it's like
you're in-
$70,000 trucks parked up front.
Yeah, but like people are like throwing beer bottles and stuff, and it was, and we were just like, right on. And
Isn't the rock band supposed to be the one
yeah,
doing
no,
that?
that's what I was thinking. But I mean, I've spent enough time in the country to see some things. So.
He has, and you'll see some things this weekend at
Yeah.
Farmington Fall Festival. Dude, some of the other acts on there, obviously our friends in Funky Butt,
Right.
Noah Earl, who you're friends
Yeah,
with.
yeah, I've known him for years.
The Bel Airs coming in
Mhm.
from Columbia. That was really cool to see that.
Yeah.
I've seen them play in Columbia, I think, a million times. But Marquise Knox.
Marquise
that-
Knox, yeah.
Dude, it's been fun watching him online. We keep joking about it, but he's leaving tour with ZZ Top and Cheap Trick, and he's going to come headline this festival. And
Yeah, I mean, at rehearsal the other night for this, one of the guys in our band knows him well, and they were saying that he's like the new member of Cheap Trick because he was playing some songs with them on the tour that they're on currently.
That's
and,
amazing.
And yeah, I've never met him actually.
I've seen him play. I've never talked to him.
Yeah, but I've heard he's a cool guy. So
For sure. It's
it'll be-
interesting too. Like you're a promoter. You do Open Highway Music
Yeah.
Festival. You do Snow Tire Festival.
Mhm.
You back in the day Bluebird and in
Bluebird,
Columbia.
yeah.
And
Yeah.
you've done these things. So we've talked about this before, but I'll just bring it up because I always find it interesting. The level at which you promote and the type of musicians you promote.
Right.
They're grinders and they're playing to rowdy crowds, but they're not necessarily going to be radio hits or award
Right.
show hits. But then you start seeing these people pop. We talked about like you had Sturgill Simpson play
Yeah.
right
Yeah, I
before
mean,
he
we
blew up.
There's a couple of bands. I mean, there's been a lot of bands like that. I mean, and it's the same way, and maybe in other fields as well, like where people will come through on a lower level, like I don't know, I just thought of like baseball or whatever, and they come through AAA, and then all of a sudden it's like, they're
Yeah, well,
you know-
they
you
hit
know,
a home
they're-
run on when
they're
they're
gonna be
during
good.
an
You could-
ESPN game.
You could read the writing on the
Yeah.
wall. In a few weeks, we have a band, or next week, the Black Pumas,
Sweet name.
who I think are going to be. They look like they're going to, that trajectory or whatever. So,
And off Broadway they're playing.
yeah, and so we've been lucky to have the relationships with bands like that, and agencies and management, et cetera, to do that stuff. So see them.
Whether it's on the artist side or the business side, I mean, it feels like the entertainment industry or music industry is super tough on its own. Do you feel comfortable being on both sides? Does that? I feel like that gives you way more stability, right?
I feel comfortable on the other sides because like when I was, in high school bands, I was the guy that would kind of be like the business manager, quote,
Yeah.
like where I would collect, get paid at the end of the night or get paid in whatever it was we were getting paid in.
Yeah.
So no, I've always been drawn to the business side. So it's not a tricky thing.
Right.
Sometimes it's just a lot to do it at once. That's it. I mean, it's just.
You guys are playing Roots Blues and Barbecue, and the barbecue scene is big for John Henry.
Yeah, I mean, we are straight up killing the
Barbecue
barbecue festival
circuit.
September season.
You're gonna play Columbia.
I'm gonna get a mall sponsorship or something.
Do we support malls? Gardner, please chime in
no,
on
do
this. I
we? I
feel
don't-
like you've got an opinion on malls. Like, it's very watery, sugary. If
That
I
just came
remember
out.
right. But it's part of our history.
Maybe Stubbs.
Oh wow, well that's Kansas.
Yeah.
But malls, like I get it.
I
If
don't
it's
know.
good
Been
enough for
around.
Tiffany, it's good enough for me.
I
Oh,
like
wow.
I like any barbecue.
Yeah.
Style. I mean, I don't care. Like
Are you gonna be at
Carolina.
Are you gonna be in the barbecue village at the festival this weekend?
You better believe it.
Yeah, we're gonna be just swollen with meat.
Yeah.
No, Stevens Lake Park at the end of this month. This is what a great back-to-back weekend. You got Farmington Fall Festival, Roots Blues and Barbecue.
Right.
So with your level where you're at with the band and everything, you're playing this huge festival. What are some of the tough part? Like it's not all just you don't have a team behind you. You're the team, right?
Yeah, I mean, we
you
have a
help.
few. Yeah, like we have a couple of team members that help for sure. But yeah, I'm running point on most everything.
Well, what's the hard part about doing a huge festival like that for you? Like,
I mean, it's weird saying like things are hard in the music business and with that regard because it's like, you're not like. I saw these guys building a roof the other night, like the other day during, and I'm like, that sucks.
that's hard.
Yeah, but I mean,
oh,
just,
you're doing tear off.
just
How fun.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and it's 90 degrees in mid to late September, and you're
Oh, and if you
but
don't pay attention, you could plummet.
You
to
could
your
also
death.
fall
Yeah.
off the roof.
Mhm.
But I think just making sure everything's done professionally, from turning in all your stuff to having the songs and the band rehearsed and just the complete package, really.
Yeah. Are you handling guest lists or anything like that?
Yeah, and that's
What? That seems like a loaded yeah.
yeah. Well, no, it's like I was just talking about this morning. I'm like we for Roots and Blues in Columbia we have a 10-piece band, and we get guests. I'm just like, I need everybody's guest list so I could submit it.
Yeah.
And some of the guys have turned it in, and some of the guys have not turned in their guest lists. And I need them.
And you have organizers hitting you up, and
Yeah.
it's
Yeah.
tough. Listen to this, Gardner. You'll appreciate this. John Prine on the bill. Maren Morris, another member of the Highwomen.
Yeah.
Some of the others: Ben Harper and the Innocent Criminals, Mavericks, Jason Isbell, Mandel and Orange. I'm a big fan of New Pornographers. Amanda Shires. You have two of the Highwomen
Yeah.
there, which that could end up being like. That's funny because when you book them, it's like, oh, those are great names, and then now they play Stern and they're on
Wait.
movie soundtracks.
Yeah.
John Prine's going to be there?
John Prine will be there.
John Prine.
Yeah, that's a big deal.
Love
Oh,
that
oh,
guy.
now you might
Do
have to go.
Do you want to go? Because some of the guys in my band haven't turned in their guest list.
Can we? Okay, I could be your manager for the weekend.
Yeah.
that could maybe I could handle some
Just
of this stuff.
personal security.
Yeah, there it is.
We'll-
yeah,
we'll go
John
back.
Henry, you walk over.
We'll
and
go back.
Yeah, Mr. Isbell, stand back.
Yeah,
I'm gonna
Jason,
need
yeah.
some room here.
Oh, see John Prine. Ooh.
That's pretty. I mean, that's
He's got his new album is probably several months old now.
yeah. He's
And
touring on it.
it's- Yeah, it's really good.
He's the things I've heard about him is that he brings his own hot sauce everywhere he goes.
Oh,
That's
really?
amazing.
Yeah, which is I think that's a cool factor in a person. And then he's a big oyster guy, and I'm a big oyster guy. So
Hot sauce and oysters makes sense.
yeah.
So,
So
I
I
saw
think-
him. I think one thing that people might not know about him, when Dan Auerbach of the Black Keys does some of his solo stuff, he did meet with John Prine to do a song together
right.
called "Waiting on a Song." I think that's
Yeah,
the one.
yeah.
And
yeah.
like Prine's in the video, it's got like a 70s feel kind of to it. So it's kind of cool that even when I see John Prine working with some of the newer artists too on some stuff.
And to make this like full circle here, the normal guitar player in my band, Neil Klein, is in a band called Repeat Repeat as well, and he's playing with the Black Keys next. He's on tour
Really?
with them, doing the whole Midwest arena deal. So he's going to be in town next Thursday with the Black Keys opening that show. So
That's something.
yeah, it's,
We're
I mean,
supposed
it's
to
just
have
weird.
repeats stopping by here. I didn't realize your
Oh, they're-
guitar. Well, their publicist hit us up for it. Yeah.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What a small world.
Yeah, and it is like rock and. I mean, yeah, it's especially with the types of bands like myself or a lot of the bands playing roots and blues. I mean, there's just a lot of people that overlap, whether it's like tour managers or agents or managers and then band members playing in different, band members playing in different bands and all that. So
It's interesting too when you find out who like the studio musicians are, or like that there's a producer that's produced
Right.
like 4 of your favorite albums.
Right.
You're like, oh, maybe this
Right.
isn't so unique after.
right. Well, and then the other thing about the scene that I'm in musically and a lot of the booking and professional that area of it is that it's never particularly in fashion and it's never out of fashion. So it's like you can, if you handle it right, you could go your whole life doing it, and you may never be super famous, obviously, but you could make a good living and play a lot of really cool events and stuff with that.
Right, and still be a career musician.
Right, exactly, or a career, whatever that
Right.
that part is. So, it's, I mean, John Prine, I don't know how old he is, but it's not like
His IMDb is huge too. Like he said, he's been an actor in a bunch of stuff.
Oh, yeah, or like Jason Isbell and Amanda can do the rest. They're like the new Johnny and June type of deal. So it's like they could go for as long as they want to go, just playing the stuff as long.
And they're still relatively young. I mean, they could play.
Yeah.
You could do this till you're 70.
Well, and the songs that I ride and I think that are coming out of bands like that are not that you could play them when you're 25, you could play them when you're 35, you could play them when you're 50, and it's not.
You don't age yourself
They're
out.
They're not. Super weird.
In a weird way, like my brain, like it's like, oh my gosh, that makes so much more sense. You're not singing about like, being the hot girl at the dance.
Right.
That's gonna not make sense in 3 years.
And I wrote and have records of that stuff from high school and early college for sure.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah,
And
absolutely.
but I think when you get older and you start writing more universal themes and themes that maybe have more weight to them, like it can last. A
It's
lot
not the
longer.
flat-
It's not.
We were
it's
talking
not
about this the
dated.
other day with Blink-182. Like,
Yeah.
hey, it's so awesome that they do what they do, but it is funny. Like when I think like, there's some guys that are 45 talking about being 16, jerking off outside of a girl's window. Like that's their song.
Yeah, and while I'm not a fan of that last thing that they wrote about, I
Right,
like
well,
the,
yeah.
I'm a huge Blink fan, and I've always been drawn to their melodies, and I wish I would have gone to the Lil Wayne show the other night to see him.
Did you miss Wayne?
I mean,
I think it's funny. And then they dedicated "I Miss You" to Lil Wayne
they?
live. Yeah, that's what I heard.
I would. I mean, I'm being very serious here when I love Blink-182, and I'm being serious where I'm like, I read this interview with it was a Lil Wayne thing where they were saying that they weren't really meeting a lot of their target audience on these shows, and I'm like, well, you signed up for a tour with Blink-182. I mean, that it's a bunch of white people like that
Probably in their 30s that are there to
Right.
hear like those specific
Right.
songs off that
And it
album.
doesn't mean that Lil Wayne's set can't go over well. It just means that if I get on a bill with Lil Wayne, if I open for Lil Wayne, I have a feeling I know what I was going to be, what we would be walking into.
So you
and
feel like you'd get cell phones up for American Pain?
No, I
at
don't
a
think
Lil
so.
Wayne
I don't think I'd get much of anything. I probably would have stayed in the Ritz as well.
I'm off to Cincinnati. I'm John Henry, and I'm
no,
out of here.
You know what I mean? It's just
No, I
like,
get it, yeah.
and I,
Well, that could be something too with his management or something where they're like, "Oh, this will be a Lil Wayne tour," and Blink, because like even if you look at Facebook, Lil Wayne has like 50 million Facebook fans,
Right.
and then Blink has like 10 million. But when you say it out loud, you're like, "Well, yeah, it's going to be like a bunch of people trying to relive this album from high school that they love."
Well, and I think nowadays with regard to if you're Blink-182, if you're a band like Green Day, if you're a band like even like a Springsteen, there's not a lot of risk in anything that you do in terms of a tour or anything that's going to involve a lot of fixed costs.
Mm-hmm.
Do you know what I mean? Like there's not we know what we're going to do on this. We know what we're going to do here. We know what we're going to do here. We're going to work with this company on this, blah blah blah, and it's going to be a lot like a sure thing.
Yeah.
And I don't, who knows what the management for whatever. I mean, but Blink a few years ago filled Hollywood or whatever it's called now, or is it Hollywood?
Yeah,
now?
the
It
amphitheater.
was
Yeah,
Riverport.
Thank
Yeah.
you. Yeah.
By themselves. Do you know what I mean? Like,
yeah, right.
Like, so there's not a lot of risk in terms of these mega tours that go out.
Right.
People know what's
They
up.
know what they're going to hit.
Exactly.
Yeah.
You know who's going to buy the tickets. You know who's going to be there. You know, blah blah.
The contracts reflect that. It's kind of, you just find the
Yeah.
place you want to play, and they're like,
Yeah,
you
it's
know what
just
we're
like,
going to
do
do.
you want to do this? So,
Yeah.
and I don't. Obviously, I don't have anything against Little Wayne or anything. I'm just saying that you know what you're.
Noted Lil Wayne hater John Henry joins
Yeah.
the show.
Yeah, that's like going to be like the little placard under my name, like on
Can
the.
you make that happen, Gardner? It was like, okay, just
No,
right
but
there.
it's just strange to me. They knew people know what's up. So
Absolutely. As far as your career's going, new releases, anything, I know you put a lot of work into the last album, video, all that good stuff. Do you have anything that
Yeah,
you're wanting to put out new?
I'm working on a new EP called Out at Sea.
Very nice.
And I have. It's just going to be a short one. Kind of lately, I've been looking towards the shorter releases.
I almost think that's better, man. Like
The
the amount of work that goes into a 10, 12 song album.
and the quickness of consumption.
Yeah.
You know
For
what
sure.
I mean? So it's like, here's five songs. I mean, I love albums. I love that. But right now, I think the five song thing is bam.
Yeah.
that's
No,
kinda-
it makes sense.
Yeah.
With the way things are being purchased right now, do you want people to just watch it online? I mean, like, what's the goal with with this next album then?
Well, it's funny. It's like back in the day, you'd have.
Vinyl or
I mean, vinyl.
vinyl's made the comeback, right?
Vinyl is outselling CDs this year for the first time I heard since
We saw that.
1986.
It's amazing.
But what I think that reflects too, though, is that nobody's really buying CDs. So,
Right.
And vinyl becomes like a souvenir in a way.
Yep. Absolutely.
So I like the idea of vinyl. I've done it, but the physical copy, you wonder what you're going to do with it. And then if you just do a digital release with a bunch of different tracks, and you can space them out or whatever you want to do. So I'm not sure about the release, but the songs they're almost done, and then we just got to go in and cut them.
It's awesome. I love it. Gardner, what are you giggling about over there? Noted Lil Wayne hater. If you can cut to the main view of John, we'll just get that up close. Perfect. Great work, Gardner.
Hate Little Wayne.
Well, it was on the screen. It was proven.
It was just a fun.
You can see John again this weekend at Farmington Fall Festival. And then if you're in Columbia, you can go see him at Roots Blues and Barbecue. Snow Tire this year
Yeah,
coming up. Or well,
yes.
technically it'd be next year.
Yes, it's going to be December through February, maybe early March, and we're going to be announcing that here the next few weeks.
That's amazing.
yeah.
It's really cool because, again, with Open Highway, you've built that up. It's become this. I mean, you sell out all those shows, right?
It's been I mean, it's been nice. So,
yeah. Well, we're going to turn Snow Tire into that, too, if it's not already
yeah.
there.
It did sell out. I mean, but yeah, it's like the winter complement to the summer Open Highway. So
It's very smart, man. I love all the work you do, and I appreciate you
it.
coming
Yeah,
by.
thank you
dude.
for having us or for having me, us.
The collective us.
Yeah, the collective.
The John
us.
Henry team.
That's just like that's what my PR people tell me to say.
That makes
Yes.
sense. Well, I'm looking forward to some selfie action with you. We'll have a craft beer and just a big handful of meat this weekend
Okay.
after you play.
Okay.
You in?
Yes, I'm in.
Blues, Brews, and Barbecue. Thanks, John.
All right, thank you.